and a few places are larger.
Okay, we
And
are
is that
with a
just
different
the
mentor now?
distortion of they've built that out further, and so it tends to open up a little bit more and doesn't have anything pushing from the other side?
No, some of it's just that they do want to have some drone combs. See,
Okay,
like,
so that's
actually, here's some drone. Get it here on the video maybe too. See, there's some drone comb right in here. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a larger,
But that's got a
it's
lot
a larger
of,
cell size here.
and is that, you can see the glossiness, so are those fed drones, or is that nectar that's in there? Because it's very glossy.
Yep, that looks like nectar.
Okay.
So at some point there might have been some drones in there. There's yeah, there's some pollen here near it.
Because it's too soon for them to have hatched. The drones have hatched yet.
No, well, we saw some drones, and see, those were definitely from this year, because usually they won't let drones overwinter in that colony. They will kick them out. They will kick them out in the fall. Yeah.
They don't want to feed them because they don't have any purpose.
But we
Right.
only,
Not have gotten his
They can be
everybody from the club did.
they can be kind of
okay.
brutally
I just assumed
efficient
that you got
sometimes.
the same
I
time
have
we
no
did.
idea, but you know, they were
Because it's only been 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he might have gotten his from somewhere else.
Well,
is
this-
what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I think he said. Well, he did say that these three. Let me see here. See, because there are some 2014
Yeah.
frames in here though too. So Dan's got the advantage of having. He probably had some drawn comb to put the packages on.
But it still
So
would have
instead of
taken
somebody
them 3 weeks
that's
to-
putting.
That is a solid brood pack.
Wow, look at all that.
So that's all brood?
Yep. So I was showing him this little technique to just.
Just tap it and then
Yeah,
move.
sometimes when you want them to clear out like that.
Oh my goodness, look at all that.
Busy girls. Wow.
Now we put one of those green drone frames in,
Yep.
and it's just chock full of honey.
Oh yeah.
Oh dear, they
It's
didn't
just,
read the book.
and they built it out a lot too.
Yeah, they build it out and they think, oh well, the cells are large. The cells are large enough.
Yeah,
We have enough drones to stack some honey in it.
yeah,
But,
it's got lots
So
of
they don't
inside.
always follow what you
There she is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah, with the white.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Oh yeah.
Fast
That's nice.
one.
See, now
Yeah, she's quick.
I worry about how do you know you don't squish her when you put that back in?
I'm gonna be real careful.
Okay, that's good. Excellent.
So now we know where she is.
So then you gotta just be really super careful.
Where did she just go, actually?
We're on the other side, I think.
Yeah.
oh, there. That really shows up.
Yeah.
I
So,
actually haven't
Can you
online.
imagine that being your job? You find and paint the queens.
Yeah, they make like a little plunger type deal where you can catch her and then push this little plunger up and she goes.
Oh, really? See,
Now in the corner there,
See?
that's
See?
honey.
This here, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So she's essentially looking around, checking for empty cells.
Is that what she's doing?
Yeah. So there's probably.
yeah, she might find some. And
So this would be a good spot to look for some eggs, but it looks like most of this is capped up. But
So she won't ever just fly off of that, will she? Like take flight when the thing's out?
I mean, she
I've
should.
only
They can
had
drop.
one do
They
that,
can
and that was
fall.
in a top bar hive.
Okay.
Yeah. She didn't like the light, but she came back about 5 minutes later while I was putting it back together.
Okay, so you saw her return.
Yeah. She came back and they recognized her and they ushered her down into the hive and yeah.
Wow. Because that's what I worry about is that, oh no, what if she flies away?
I
or-
was freaking out.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're carefully put it back down in here. Let's see. Since these guys kind of left this stuff, I might scrape a little bit of it off. Like he was saying, it's not completely necessary. But on the other hand, like, since it's empty right now, it's kind of a good time to get it out of here. Like, once they fill it up, then it'd be a goopy mess to scrape it off. Whereas right now, that's pretty
Now,
that's pretty
should we
easy.
get rid of that versus just throwing it down into the bottom?
It depends. Like if it's got more honey on it, sometimes I will actually scrape it off and then just put it on a different frame out here. And then when you come back next week, it'll be, you know, they will have cleaned it up and you can scrape it off a little easier. One thing you don't want to do is like leave a bunch of it on the ground around the hive because you can start bringing in yellow jackets or robbing bees from another nearby hive. They're going to start.
I put mine in quart jars. I have quart jars when I come out in my
Behind you on your left.
in my plastic tote, and I just put the comb into the jars. Put the cap on.
That's what I was going to say. Sometimes I got a little jar here.
Yeah, I put the stuff with honey in one jar and burr comb, burr comb or bridge comb in the other. And then I just put the stuff with honey in my solar wax melter.
Okay.
Cool.
So I had some that, for the carnies, I didn't have my spacing right, so I had to go in and knock it down a little bit. And then a little bit on the Italians too, so I left it outside the hive for them to clean up. And the carnies cleaned them up like it was incredibly fast and efficiently, and the Italians never touched theirs. They never touched it. And so I ended up going out there and picking it up and getting rid of it so I wouldn't attract, you know, animals or bees or whatever.
The wax that doesn't have the honey in it, if you leave that in or toss it to the bottom or something, will they chew it up and spit it back
usually
out
they
again
won't.
lately, or, okay.
I've heard.
They don't recycle it.
No, not
I
necessarily.
recycle the honey, but not the wax.
Right.
Because we had a lot of that, and we were told just cut it off and drop it back in, but maybe that's...
Yeah. One.
Wow. I just can't believe how calm they are.
Yeah.
They did it quick. I did check 2 of these hives.
Yeah, that's a good pattern.
It's a very good pattern.
Shoot.
I only checked 2 of the 8. I mean, two of the
Sorry.
6 and then you get
Wow,
Yeah,
they're
so
just
sorry.
filling that up, aren't they? My goodness.
Yes.
Wow.
Look at that. Whoa.
I want to picture that too.
I've got one hive of Italians that they're just all like that.
Look at that.
That is really nice.
Yeah, that is
beautiful.
that
Dan,
that
did
is
you
an
buy
excellent
yours
brood
from
pattern.
Harold at the same time the rest of us did?
Yeah.
Okay, because we were trying to figure out
Quite a few drones.
timing because you've got drones already.
Well, they could be drones that have come in from other hives. Drones are migratory. They go from hive to
Okay.
hive. They don't stick to a certain hive.
Oh, okay, so that's why you, okay.
And some of the packages had some drones in them too.
Okay. Wow,
That's really nice.
Yeah.
those are happy bees.
Now,
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
With here.
We
But
did.
then, so you take the drone cone out though,
So that's just
like right about now because it's at 3 weeks.
Oh,
No, I didn't
brood
put it in
pattern.
when I first got the
Okay,
hive.
or
I just
3
bought it.
weeks and then you just freeze it overnight and then you put it right back in.
Well,
what I
take
thought.
the caps off, and the bees will
Yeah,
clean it
there's
out.
only a few empty
Yeah.
ones.
What?
so our bees that
A few
we
empty
bought,
ones, and they have a little bit of nectar in most of them. There's there's developing bees in a couple of them.
Yeah. There's
Not many.
that's such a healthy brood pattern. The little tiny spaces in there is okay.
Yeah.
I mean it's so tight that
So now my 3-pound package.
Well, another thing is,
should
you know-
look similar to this already, or is this? No.
Well, did you have
No, I didn't have a new.
bear frames?
Yeah, bear frame.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
this is because it's already pulled.
he already
Yeah,
had
that's what I
the-
was saying. He
yeah.
had the pulled combs, so that
Okay.
provides a huge advantage because then the
Huge.
queen's in there, she's laying on day 1 instead of
Waiting
day
for them to
2
to-
weeks
Okay.
after they've built the comb out. You know.
Because they got busy pretty fast making comb, but not filling out the whole frame.
Yeah. No, this is really
So how come the lighter
good looking.
here and darker?
Oops.
How come the lighter color here and the darker color here? Is that just
Probably just newer.
newer?
Maybe this is the first time they've laid in this area. The comb. The reason the comb gets darker is that
Bees don't wipe their feet.
they've had successive generations in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one of the first things a bee will do when it hatches out is actually go get some propolis and come back and clean its cell out. So when it's cleaning it, it's like polishing it with the propolis. It's making it darker.
Okay.
So and they also do tend to leave a little bit of their cocoon in there. So that's one of the reasons to replace comb periodically is once it'll get dark, kind of like deep black after it's 3 or 4 years old. That's kind of when you want to pull it out and let them do some new stuff. So I mean, this is beautiful comb though. I mean, it's like new enough to where I wouldn't see it having any kind of residuals or anything.
With the older frames, if you're running deeps for honey, you can put them up into the second frame or third box, honey box. And when you harvest your honey after the honey's gone, you can just scrape the wax off and keep it for next year, and they'll redraw it out.
Let's see. A quick peek at this last one just to see. Looks like this is drawn. They're just starting to work on the other side.
So this is ready for a second box to go on, right?
That's getting close, but not necessarily. I think what I'm going to do is maybe move one in a little bit, kind of checkerboard it a little bit, but
Because this one they were just starting to draw.
yeah.
Well, that's a nice draw.
Yeah. See, so there's some nice brand new comb. So yeah, oops.
Yeah, they're going clear across
So yeah, you
the
can
frame
see the
right
nectar getting. There's some curing nectar kind of in there. Shoot, I put that other one back. I was noticing one bee fanning out some like pheromones from the very back there. They can actually open up these. They can kind of move the hindquarters of their body in different ways to let different pheromones out. And one of them was, I can't remember what that pheromone is. There's one on the very back segment. You know, they kind of put like, almost looks like they're trying to sting something.
Yeah.
But they like put their thing down and then it exposes kind of a little pink part back there in the back, and then they're fanning on it. And I can't exactly remember what
So
that.
the workers have pheromones too?
Yep. Yeah. They have a whole kind of a suite of pheromones. There's
How come
alarm
this
pheromones.
guy right there looks so
that's
different?
true.
Alarm pheromones smell like bananas, so you don't want to.
Nobody
See that guy right there that doesn't have any stripes on his
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry about that.
Maybe a different variety that joined the hive.
Well, that's kind of natural variation, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, the queen's gonna mate with several different drones from several different colonies, so.
You want a very promiscuous queen. You want her to, you want her to go to the singles bar, where all the drones hang out.
Speaking of those smells and pheromones, there's some indications that they can actually tell how well the queen is mated. Like they've done some studies at WSU with, if she's mated with 1 or 2 bees, it's not as good. She's mated with, more like 15 to 20, they get the best exception.
Purdue University, they did a study on that.
Huh. So,
A little bit of draw right there.
yeah, kind of purplized. So, I think I'm going to move this one up one. People like these black frames, particularly for queen rearing or looking at the brood. The brood can be slightly easier to see in those dark frames, whereas if you're trying to look for brood in these, sometimes it's a little tricky. Look at the
So what's the advantage of the yellow frames?
the bees chaining there.
You can.
They're
Why do they do that?
festooning, it's called. They're actually they're like taking taking measurements there. So that's how they'd determine, you know, if that was an actual space in the hive. That's kind of how they'd start drawing the comb. Essentially, they'd chain the. Oh yeah, there's a nice couple of. Yeah.
Someone just coming back from a good foraging trip.
So since they're chained up like that, I'm gonna kind of carefully put this one down here. Oh, come on, you guys. There we go. All right. Well, let's see. I think I'll put one more. I think I'll, yeah. Well, I don't know. I checkerboarded this one in, so maybe I'll just leave that side like it is. It's always weird being in somebody else's hives, because I'm not totally sure what Dan would do in this scenario, but...
Well, you had another big one.
Yeah, you're still
full of pollen coming out.
So these ones, I'm just kind of scooting them back together slowly. If there was more bees in between here, maybe I'd bounce them a little bit, but nobody's in between there. So then once I got it kind of pinched up like that, now I can move all these. I'm going to move all 4 of them at the same time.
Okay. That way you aren't going to squish anybody in there because all the space is the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is one nice thing about having a clean clean box here too, you know, because they will start propylizing a lot right along here.
And then sliding will be real difficult.
Yeah. So like.
So it's probably a good idea to slide them along every time you inspect, just to keep it clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're right. That's just
So much to remember.
and we're glassing. That's next.
So yeah.
I've been using these metal frame rests that I got from Rural Bees down in Portland.
Yeah.
I started on them last year, and they're excellent. They're just little aluminum things that fit over your your rabbit. No. It's just a little L-shaped piece of metal that it covers your frame rest, and they're a whole lot easier to clean because of the metal.
They just slide smoother and stuff.
Yeah.
So see, I'm kind of squaring these up now to make sure they're all of our extra spaces on the outsides. Somebody was commenting on that when we were first opening it up, but basically we want everything tight like that. So,
and you see how
move on to the next one.
Before everybody was kind of all over the place. Now they've congregated right in the middle over the brood.
I'm gonna just, since this one's got a lot of honey on it, I'm just gonna poke it down in there.
Cool.
Somebody can get it out later. It's far enough away that it's not gonna disturb them too much. Oops. Oh, come on. Seriously? Come here. She's trying to get this girl out of here. Now you're gonna. Oh, jeez. Is that on the video? Dang it.
It's all good.
I'm trying to get a. Sometimes I try to keep the. I try to keep the lid on this. I kind of
hive feeder.
space that out, but that's a wet girl. But whoops,
They'll clean her off.
her sisters will come.
So when you have this type of feeder, then you don't have it inner covered, right? Because
Yeah, he doesn't use one. I do usually.
Do you want to put that more pollen patty in while you got it?
Oh yeah. Thank
You
you.
want me to grab you some? Or
Sure.